Hey y'all, welcome. I'm Mikey. Thank you for joining me. And this is Tell Your Friends. We're live on Glacier FM. Come on in, take a seat, get comfortable, take off your shoes, and we're going to chill for a minute. So here we are with another interview. And again, I'm going to allow him to introduce himself. So go ahead.
My name is Bean. I'm originally from Dallas, Texas. 33.
Okay. And did you grow up with a single parent, both, neither?
Uh, my mother for a little while, and then really neither, because my father. I was always told my father died when I was little, so I never knew him. And then my grandma raised me. Then I moved to Georgia, and my aunt raised me since I
Okay,
was
so
about
all
7 or 8.
women. Okay. Um, so how do you feel about the new modern woman, bad bee, chasing the bag? How do you feel about that mentality or that, um, you know, the way these women are now?
Um, it's good and bad, I guess. It's good because
So,
they want to go out and get money, because it's not a one person thing. 2022, I don't believe it's a one person thing. Only men supposed to go out and work, or the woman just do whatever she do. I believe both of them should work, because you never know if something happens to the man where he can't work. Then what are you gonna do?
but see, some of these women aren't working in a sense of working. They're not punching a time clock. They're using what they have to get what they want from men. So that's the one. Those are the ones I'm talking about, not the ones that take their ass to work every day. I'm talking about the ones who are using men, you know, chasing the bag,
Oh
and
yeah, I
they
don't deal with
bad.
them.
Those women. Like, what do you
I don't
think
do
about
it.
this mentality? Like, this is how a lot of the younger women in our community think.
I think they should take their behinds to work.
I'm so done with
But
you.
I don't even deal with them. That's the thing. I don't deal with them. I did it when I was like 18, in my 20s. But when I turned like 23, I don't deal with them. I got married at 27, so I don't even go to clubs or anything to even try to go chase them. Heck no. I'll leave them where they at.
So, what's your relationship status currently?
Single.
Okay.
I'm single
So,
for about
so
5 years
now
now.
five. Every man that I've been talking to has been single for quite some time now. Okay, so since you're single, when you are observing a woman that you're dating to, to be a girlfriend, potential wife, or whatever the case may be, what are some of the qualities you look for, and what are some of the red flags?
The qualities I look for is someone who basically I get along with. First of all, we got to get along. You gotta have a good personality. Uh, I mean, you gotta work. I mean, like I said, I can't no one person just hold a household up. It takes two people if you're together. Definitely
Okay.
takes two. There's two people there. I believe it. Two people should be paying. Some of the bills. Like the man can pay the rent and the big bills, while the woman pays like the water bill, electricity bill, like little bills. Because
Okay, so
a random
that's
mortgage
how
is the
your
is the
relationship
hugest
looks.
bill you have.
That's how your relationship looks to you.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to look.
That's how it's
But
supposed to look.
but you know how it is. Like when I got married, my ex-wife believed that the men should go out and work and pay all the bills. So that's what I was doing, paying all the bills. But then she asked me for extra money. I'm like, where's this extra money coming from if I'm
But
paying
was she
all
doing
the
her
bills?
part? Like if you were paying all the bills, was she sustaining the housewife, portion of it? Was she doing that part?
Barely that, because I still had to
Oh,
come
see,
home, clean, cook, give
see,
kids
and that's why
baths,
you're
do all that
complaining.
after working a 12-hour shift, working shoot a 12-hour shift plus going to my other job. I come home in the morning and drop both of them off at daycare.
Mm,
I, yeah,
wow. Whew.
and
So
this is why I've been single for 5 years now.
So and how old did you say you are?
33.
So 33. So what's like the age preference of woman that you know that
Usually, no, I ain't gonna say usually. All my life, I dated older women.
okay.
All my life, I dated older women.
So with the older women, do you find less of that, I'm a bad bee and all of that mentality from the older women than the younger?
Um, some of them, yes. Like the ones that are in my age group, but older than me, like in their 30s, but older than me, they still they still most like, yeah, they still be going to the club and stuff. But the ones that are like I dated in their 40s and stuff, they don't look at that like that. They're looking for someone who can lead them, basically. You know what I mean? The younger women are just looking, like you said, just I want to chase the bag, I want to do something, do that.
Right. So in one of my episodes, I was speaking about, the disconnect between the elders and the youth. So it's funny that you said like the women that are, like maybe in a little later 30s than you, they're still, clubbing and doing all of that. I've mentioned like do the younger generation of women, because some of us elders have lived so poorly in front of them, do they just not want to take direction? Because if you're supposed to be an elder and you're supposed to be leading by example, but you uh dropping it like it's hot in the club with the 21-year-olds, like what kind of example are you setting?
And I don't even know, cause okay, so I don't know. My aunt, she always dated younger men, but she's well in her 60s now, but she'll still go to the club, and I'm confused by that. Like she was still in the club in her 40s, 50s, and 60s, trying to find 30-year-olds. So I don't know. It's just when it comes with maturity, I guess it's just where your maturity level is.
But I remember like when I was a little younger, like the elder women, they were a little different than the elder women are now. Like they were more nurturing,
Exactly.
and there was more wisdom being imparted, even though some of them were kind of imparting the wrong lessons too then. But I'm just saying, like it seems like now the women, it's like a competition all the way around.
It's media. I blame it on the media. All the artists that's coming out, all that is them because some of the older women are trying to act like the younger women. You see what I mean? It's very
But
hard.
some of them
It's
aren't
kind
that
of hard to
old.
find a mature person nowadays.
But some of them aren't that old. If you think about it, when we had the big, saturation of teen pregnancy, if you think about it, when you have your child at 14, 15, 16, 17, by the time that child is 20, 21, 22, you're in your mid to late 30s. So you guys are competing for the same men. Your daughter is 22, 23. She can go to the same club that you're in. And you're only 35,
But
36. So you
that's
guys
why I
are,
say it comes with maturity level.
but I mean,
But
you didn't really get a chance to grow up because you had a baby at 15. So you're kind of stunted at
true.
that age until you grow up.
I mean, that is true. A lot of women don't get the chance to grow up because they do have like my sister. My older sister had her kid young. Like she had her first child when she was probably what? How old is my niece? They said my niece is 18 now. She didn't have her first child till she was 16, 17. My brother
Mhm.
had his first kid, he was like 15. But some 15-year-olds have babies and turn out good, though. It's just maturity level.
Well, I had my daughter at 17, and then I had my next one at 25.
Yeah, see, I
But,
had my first child, my only child, at 27.
right. See,
But
that's
I
what
was
I'm
married. I had a
right.
house to live in. I was working. I had everything in line. My credit was nice. Everything was good. It's just
Right.
maturity level.
Right.
What you can handle on your maturity level.
I agree with that. I'm with
Like
that.
at 17, you probably can handle. You handled it. You probably handled it well. Probably ups and downs, of course. but you probably still went out, got an apartment, got your
Yeah,
job, took
I
care of your
did.
child.
I did.
You wasn't looking for handouts like some of these kids nowadays looking for handouts. Like, oh, you gonna help me, my child? You had a child, it's not my child, it's your child.
But see, I feel like because in a lot of I would say in a lot of inner cities, it's like it's okay. Like for instance, there was a little girl that used to go to my church when I was into religion and all of that. There was a little girl that used to go to my church, and she came to church pregnant at 13. She had that baby, and then next year she came to church pregnant again. And then maybe 2 years later, she came to church pregnant again. Needless to say, this baby was like 22 years old with 4 children. So somewhere there was no problem with this. Like, why would we keep giving a child baby showers and saying that this is okay?
Well, what was her parents at is the question.
Her mother was right there, excited she's about to have another grandbaby.
Yeah, it was something going on in that
So it's
household
that
that
mentality.
nobody knew
That
about.
mentality. No, it's
It,
that mentality.
nah, it was something going on in that household.
It's the mentality because it's not just that household.
I
That's
don't
not the
know,
only little
but
girl I knew like that. I'm just pointing that one out because she's
I
fresh.
know what you mean. Because when I
But
was younger,
it's
I
that
know I
hood
ran into a
mentality.
13-year-old that was pregnant. I thought it was her sister's baby who was much older, was a little bit older than her, but still like 17. So it's still kind of like you shouldn't be getting pregnant either. But I saw a 13-year-old on the bus on the way to Austin. I mean, on the train on the way to
It's
Austin.
that
So
hood
yeah,
mentality. Because with me, when I got pregnant and I had a baby at 17, they accepted the baby, and all of that. But no one in my family made it like it's okay. Like keep having babies.
I'm like, nah, that's not okay.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we can't change the fact that you're pregnant. The baby's coming, but
Whether we like it or not.
right, but this is not something that is going to be a continuous thing. So that's why I didn't have another baby until 8 years later.
Right, correct.
You know what I mean? So it's the mentality because there's no way that my 13-year-old daughter is going to have a baby and she's going to have another one a year later.
Right. That's not. Yeah, I'm like, oh, it's fine. It's okay. Nah,
Right. So
that's not
it's the
okay.
mentality because she has to think it's okay to continue to keep having these babies.
That's what I said. What was her parents? Well, like, where was this other person's parents at?
Her
Like, where
mama,
was
like
they at?
I
Like, what was
said, her
going on in the
mama
household for them to
her
feel
mama
like, oh,
had
it's okay.
her
She's
at
just
an early
13.
age, and clearly she hasn't grown up, and so it was okay.
That's
It was
crazy.
okay. There's no way that you're gonna just keep bringing babies into your mother's house because she don't have her own place at 13.
And then what was these? What was this girl's baby daddies at?
Child, who knows? Running the streets, he was a kid like her,
Exactly. Probably old. Probably about to be
like
18.
maybe like 3 years older than her. She's
Yep,
13.
about to
He's
be 18.
16. Right, he's 16. Stuff like that. But this is okay. Like I've seen too many cases like this in the inner city because that's the mentality.
Mm-mm.
So another question, um, how do you feel about the representation of the women of our community in the media, and how do you feel about the way they represent themselves?
Stop trying to look like celebrities because that's not you.
Like
I don't.
a
It's
celebrity
here's my
means
concept.
what does
Okay,
that
so
mean?
here's
Trying to look like a celebrity.
here's my concept. It's fun to look at, but it's not fun to take home to mom. Like, would you take that home to mom, basically? Or in my case, would I take that home to my grandma? No.
So you'll
I
have
like my
fun
women to
with
be
her, but
covered. I
not
like to
take
be
her
like
seriously.
presentable and covered up.
So you'll have fun with her, but not take her seriously.
I wouldn't even. No, I wouldn't even have fun with her. Now,
So
the
you're
age
not
I am
even
now, I
have
wouldn't even
fun
have fun
with
with
her.
her. Probably back when I was 17, 18, probably, but in my 20s, no, because I got married, like I said, at 27. I was ready to settle down at 27. I already knew what I
So
wanted, a
okay,
family.
So it's pretty safe to say all this BBL and all of this, you're not a fan of it.
No, I don't even watch TV. I don't even own it. I don't even have cable. I don't watch TV. All my shows I get on. Yeah, I get on Hulu, Netflix.
Me too. I don't have cable.
I don't watch. There's no
I don't have
cable.
cable either because I like just like the question I just asked. I don't really care for what's on TV these days, so I don't feel like we're being represented the way I'd like to see it, men and women, in the media. So I would just rather not watch it.
Oh man, perfect example. So I do armed security. Remember, I do armed security. So now I'm at Floyd Mayweather's skating ring down here, right?
Uh-oh.
Perfect example. See,
Look, I'm like,
like I
uh-oh.
said, it's fun to look at. About almost every young girl from 18 probably to about 36. Ass cheeks out, titties out. I'm like, yeah, it's fun to look at, but
But
it's
look
not fun
whose
to take.
skating ring you're at.
That is true,
That's
but
why they like that
but
because all of them are trying to
but
catch the baller.
with all that said and done, there was a couple girls, like maybe there was more than a couple, like a pretty good handful that I walked through that was fully covered, still look good. You still can look at it and be like, okay, she's cute. I like what she got on, but still look presentable. No booty hanging out, no titties hanging out, not no too tight this. Like, nah, it was presentable. She still looked cute. And yeah, I'll walk up and talk to her. But the
Y'all
girl, her
heard
booty checks out and stuff, I'm like, I'm not even gonna talk to you because I already know what type of time you're on.
You heard that, ladies? Y'all remember I said that in one of the other interviews. How you present yourself is how they're going to treat you. Like
Exactly.
I said you can be
Oh,
sexy and still be fully covered. But when you have everything out on the glass and out, looking like you selling a bit, they ready to buy a bit.
I don't even go for girls like that. I don't even go for girls like that. I would never go for a girl like that. No.
Y'all
Like I
heard
said,
me.
I'll look out. Who's not gonna look because it's out? So who's not gonna be like, oh, okay.
Like I said, men are visual creatures. They can't help it. It's in their nature.
See, you
It's
said
in
that
their
too. And you
nature.
said that too on another interview.
I
We
say
was
it
talking
all
about
the
that
time.
one morning.
Look, he's showing y'all. I say it all the time. He knows me from my live platform too. I say it all the time. Men are visual creatures. If you want a man to take you seriously and listen to what you have to say, you can't have everything on the glass and be distracting him to where all he's thinking about is sex. Once he puts you in that category where sex is on his mind, it's hard to get yourself out of that category.
Yep, because all he gonna think about, and that's all he gonna hit you up for. What you doing tonight? Oh, can I come over? Hey, you want to
Well,
come
he's
over
gonna hit
here?
you up all the time. What you doing tonight after business hours? When I was single, I used to always, anytime a man, why are you hitting me after business hours? If you can't hit me during business hours, don't hit me up at 11:30 and ask me what I'm doing.
Exactly, because you know,
Don't
you
do
already
that.
know after 12 o'clock, you know what's going on. We
Ain't
all
my
know
daddy
what's
used to
going
say,
on.
ain't
You get
nothing
that
open
text, that
but some
call, what you
legs.
done?
Ain't nothing open but some legs and 7-Eleven after midnight.
Oh shit! And
Don't
this
call
and
me that late.
CVS's and shit, so you can go get that Plan B because you know you should
Go
have been
get
know
you
what you
some
doing last night.
condoms or something, but ain't nothing happening that late. Don't call me that late. I'm not that one.
I'm gonna be asleep. You call me that late, either I'm gonna be at work or I'm gonna be asleep. Don't ever
Even
call
if
me that
I'm
late because
awake,
I'm
I'm
not
not
gonna answer because
answering.
I'm at work or sleep.
Even if I'm awake, I'm not answering because I feel like you're disrespecting me by calling me that late.
You see, I'm not answering. I'm awake either because I'm be if I'm awake at that hour because I'm at work. Like
Hmm.
right now, I'll be at work still or on the way home.
Hmm. So, do you feel that the women of our community have become too masculine?
Too
And
masculine. Uh,
mhm.
See, people think women are masculine because women are okay. So, people actually, I don't think that's true. Men think that because women are head of household because these men are not working, they getting the women to take care of them. That's why people think that, but no, it's not. Because I have a friend right now. She's always talking about how she wants to find a man that can lead, so she can stop leading. Because every dude that she talks to, she end up taking care of like that's her child. And I mean take care, like buy them cars, clothes, feed them, cook for them. They don't clean up. They don't do nothing. They just sit
But
in the
she
house play
got to
video
take
games.
some accountability for them for her choices too, though. If
Yeah,
she
see,
keep
and I
if
keep
she
telling
keep
her that she's like, yeah,
doing
I
the
know I
same
keep going for these
man,
type of dudes, but I can't help it. Da-da-da. That's
yeah,
because you only. As I always tell her, because you're only looking for sex out of these dudes.
right.
Because she only gonna talk to a dude that has the package that she's looking for. That's the only dude she's gonna talk to. That dude can make a six figures and have not the package she's looking for. She gonna be like, oh no, I don't want you. I'm
The
telling you.
package, like the visual,
That's part of her fault, and is more it's more so her fault because she's not telling these dudes that she messed with, hey, go get a job. Well, we're not doing this. I'm not giving you my body because you're not working. That's all she got to do, and they'll get up and go to work because that's what they want. So they're gonna have to get up and go to work sooner or later. But that's why people everywhere are thinking women are coming more like men, but they're really not. The men are becoming more like women and want to stay at home and not do nothing. That's what's really going on.
okay. I do see that quite often as well. I'm not going to refute that fact. There are a lot more men that are cool with just allowing a woman to take care of them.
Yep, taking that role as leading, and they get mad when she tell them, "Hey, you gotta do this." Can't get mad. This woman just went to work for 12, 16 hours, and you've been at home all day. So what the heck? So whatever she says right now goes. That's how I feel. I'm a man. If a woman's take care of me, I gotta do what she say because she's the one bringing in the money. I ain't doing nothing but sitting at home,
And
eating free, rent
a lot
free,
of men don't feel like
using the
that.
water, using all the toilet paper, using everything, while she at work making the money.
Yeah,
Like, no. Personally,
a
I'm
lot
never
of
that
men
type of
are cool
man.
with
I
that.
would never do that. I have two jobs.
You always have a whole bunch of jobs. Stop it.
I'm always at work. I'm just off right now because I told them, hey, let me take off Wednesday, and I just got off work an hour ago. So yeah.
Yeah, right. Every time I talk to you, you either at work, on your way to work, about to
One or
go to
the
work,
other.
getting off. um, so let me see. Have you had any toxic experiences with
Oh, my ex-wife.
oh look,
Oh,
oh, oh.
she was toxic. No, she was toxic. It became too toxic where she was trying to put her hands on me. I don't put my hand on women. I walk away. But I remember she used to try to put her hands on me, throw things at me. I'll leave. I remember one day her mom thought I was gonna hit her because she threw something. And I just stood there like, "Why are you trying to hit me?" And I just like, "Yeah, you doing too much." And I just got up and left. That's
So
like the first time she tried to put her hands on me. And
what
this before.
what led up to that? Because I know she didn't just start out that. Usually people slowly lead up to becoming physical. So what was the toxic? You know, what were some of the toxic things that you saw or that she was doing before it got to that point that you ignored?
Let's see. She cheated on me from the beginning of the marriage to the end of the marriage. She wasn't cheating on me before we got married. She started cheating on me when we got married, which is weird. But
Hmm.
that's what I guess that's what led up to that. Like she was cheating on me and she'd get caught every time because she'll do dumb things. Like the first time she got caught, it was she was logged on Facebook on my computer, so it pops up. Facebook Messenger pops up on the computer. So I was on my computer doing what I do, and I didn't know she was even logged in on Facebook on my computer. I'm just typing, doing my. I was
Wow.
doing something one night. I'm just typing, message pop up. I'm like, who the heck is this? This my friend. I was like, who Facebook is this? I looked at. I was like, oh, this is her Facebook. Why is this dude asking for naked pictures? Like, yeah, and
Mm.
I'm looking. Then they got me like, okay, let me look at these messages. And I was like, okay, so you cheat on me in front of my face.
Wow.
And she tried to lie about it. No, I'm not. I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, well, then who's this dude? And I turned the computer around. She's like, I don't know who that is. But it's your Facebook and y'all are messaging back and forth. Like you just messaged him on your phone.
Well, nobody just asks you for naked pictures just out of the blue. You have
I
to
mean,
have
I didn't
some
do
kind of
anything.
you
To
have to have some kind of conversation with them before they're gonna ask you for some naked pictures.
yeah, that's what I told her. And I was like,
Like
yeah.
we don't just the first conversation. You like, hey,
That's
send
I
me
was
some
like,
naked
yeah,
pictures.
it's not gonna be the first conversation. The girl
You
just
build
try to
up a
send the naked
rapport at
pictures.
this point to where you feel comfortable enough to ask me to send you some naked pictures.
Yeah, and personally, I don't do that. I haven't asked a girl for those type pictures since I was in like ninth grade, 10th grade.
I don't send those types of pictures. Well,
That's the
I'm in
only
a
time that I get a little girlfriend. So that's the only time I sent them as a boy. But I don't know about girl. I mean, or my early days in college, maybe when I had my one girlfriend that was in high school still. But yeah, but she was
relationship.
in 12th grade. I was a freshman in college. It was
No, I
no,
mean,
she was not in 10th grade, and I was a whole
that's
10th.
different.
So,
That's like 19 and I understand. I understand. That's a touchy little age right there because with my oldest daughter's father, when we got together, we were 15 and 17.
yeah, see,
So by the time I got pregnant and had my baby, if they wanted to make a thing about it, it would have been statutory rape.
right.
You know what I mean? But we were together from 15 and 17. So, you know, we started out together as kids, but he got grown on me. But, you know, I understand those couple of years. It's when the girl is 15 and the man is 27 and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
no,
That's the
that's
problem.
out.
17, 18, and 19, that's different.
Yeah,
To me, it is. I can't speak for everybody, but in my eyes, that's a little different.
yeah. I wouldn't
That
care if
child is
she's like
still
15 and
child.
he's
You're still
17.
a
There's two
child.
years. Now,
Right.
if she 15 and he's like 20, there's something wrong with that picture. Like, bro,
That's two totally different ages. You know what I mean? Yeah.
that's
That's
way
totally
out there, bro.
like
Now, if
17,
she's 30 and he's
18,
50, then
19,
that's
we
kind of
still
like,
got
okay,
stuff
so they're
in
both
common.
grown ass people.
We still got
But,
stuff in common at 17, 18, 19.
mm-hmm.
You're still a kid at 19. At 25, you're not still a kid. At 15, I'm still a kid. You're not at 25.
25 is really an adult because
That's when
25
they
you can
say
go rent
you're
a
really
car,
an
you can go
adult.
on a
And that's when
cruise,
your
you can do
frontal
all
lobe
kinds
is
of different
supposed
things
to
at
close.
25.
Right. That's when your frontal lobe is supposed to close. They say that's when you're supposed to be able to make intelligent decisions. I guess that's why your insurance goes down at 25. I'm, I'm just
Not for men. Our insurance don't go down because man, they say men are most likely to get
not
a
in
car accidents because
Vegas,
we like to race.
but not in Vegas either. The
In Vegas,
insurance,
ain't nobody car insurance
the
going down.
insurance
That
is
shit gonna go
sky high out here
because everybody keep getting. You see, I mean, it's accidents every goddamn day.
all day, every day. I don't
Every
care
all
where you
day,
go.
every day is an accident somewhere.
Yep.
All day,
Because you got all
every
those
day,
people
every couple
drinking and
minutes.
leaving casinos all the time at all hours of the day and night.
These people can't drive out here. I'm telling you, they can't
No.
drive. They can't.
So, do you think that the women in our community have a problem with accepting accountability and responsibility?
Yeah, just
Yeah,
like man. Yeah,
just like men. So you think it's something within our community, and not just a woman thing?
yeah, because everybody's quick to blame everybody else, but don't want to accept the fact that you might be this reason.
I agree.
It's on both men and women.
Okay.
No, men and women are the same. We just think different.
Yeah, I would say so. Like we think differently. I mean, I think that a lot of time women look at men and we think that you guys don't have no feelings and emotions and all of that. We're all the same, but yeah, like you said, we think differently.
That's because we don't. We already talked about this. We know men don't show their emotions out in front.
But
Because now, if
y'all
we
weren't
show our
allowed
emotions,
to.
y'all going to see us as, oh, you're gay
But
because
y'all
you're
weren't
crying.
allowed
Oh,
to
you're
even
gay because you're
as
acting like this. We can't
kids.
be
As
sensitive.
kids. But as kids, you weren't allowed to show your emotions. A lot of young boys who grew up in the house with women, you like what you crying for? You be a man, like if you're taught as a kid to not be able to express emotion, then you become an adult who doesn't know how to express your emotions.
You're not going to do when you're an adult. You're going to be like, yeah, I don't.
You don't even know how to. You've never even been given the opportunity to, you know, even try to figure out how to express them or work through
And
them.
it's not even all the emotions. It's really just your sensitivity. That's really what it is. Because anger and every other emotion you show,
You can express that one. Right. You can
but you
express
don't
anger,
you
but
don't
you
show
can't
your
be
soft side.
sensitive.
That's what it
Right.
is. Men
Right,
don't show their soft sides unless they're with their wife alone or they were themselves alone.
right. You're
Other
right.
than that, when they're out in public, they don't do it. They only show anger. They really only show anger when they're out in public.
Right. It's like it's not even a range of emotions. It's like just this one, like just aggressive. That's it.
Exactly.
Aggression. Like that. But it's sad that as melanated men, you guys aren't allowed to have a range of emotions. Like how do you think how do you think we tackle that issue? You know, like because I know a lot of men want to be able to express their emotions, but then like you said, if
Like I said, if we show
women
emotion,
come back at you, right.
we get labeled as oh
You're a
you're
punk,
soft, you're
you're
gay, you're
soft.
this, you're that because you're doing this. I'm like no.
So do you think that that the media has a part to play in hyping up our melanated men to have to be so rough and tough and thugs and hard to where we can't accept them if that's not the way they are?
It plays a role.
You think so?
It plays a role in like you said, the household you grew up in. Basically, how your parents was. Did your parents let you cry? Did your parents let you do this? Or did your parents tell you, hey, stop crying, you're a boy, you boys don't cry?
Right, because that's what a lot of melanated households tell young boys. You men don't cry, stop crying. But if something hurts, I'm supposed to cry. I'm supposed to show emotion, and how to even show emotion. So then, do you think all that pent up anger, now you're an adult and you don't know how to, let it out, and it just comes out in different destructive ways?
That's what exactly what happens. That's why that's why nowadays you see men that are okay, so back in the day women used to break up with a man, they go and throw bleach on all their clothes, break their TV as a woman. Now men are doing that because that's how they anger. That's how they show their emotion. Women always show anger, but now men they're doing the same thing women do. I'm like, what are you doing?
Hmm. I agree. I mean, I do agree, but I think that, like you said, it's a lot with the way you were raised. So I feel like we just have a lot of unhealed people in our community, a lot of childhood traumas. And then because it seems to be like a taboo in our community to even seek help or to see a therapist or anything like that, they tell you you're crazy for seeing a therapist, but I think you're kind of crazy for not seeing one if you need one. But,
Exactly.
but that's just me. But either way, like how do you then seek help if you gonna be ostracized within the community for seeking help? So then we just all run around broken and and unhealed because it's not cool to realize you have a problem and you need to fix something.
I mean, some people figure it out when they're adults, and some don't.
Yeah, but for those some who don't, they're running around and they planting them toxic seeds in everybody that they run across.
Right.
They setting off that toxicity in everything they touch because they refuse to realize, like you said, that maybe I'm the common denominator. Maybe all this stuff, every time I have an interaction with somebody, maybe there's a problem because I'm the common denominator. You have 10 interactions that all go the same way with different people. Is it all 10 people or is it you?
Right.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, can you give at least one solution to at least one of the issues between the women and the men of our community?
It's all communication.
So, you think that would be like the foundation to lay is communication?
Yeah, because nowadays people don't communicate like they used to. They
I
really don't.
I agree with
Nobody
you.
wants to communicate. They'll just sweep everything under the rug.
I agree. That's why I'm doing this podcast. That's why I'm doing this segment because I feel like in our community, we need a lot more communication and understanding between the men and the women. We can't even have strong family units if we can't even get along with each other.
And then the man and An older man, older woman needs to go back to mentoring the younger woman and younger man. They don't
But
do
see,
that no more.
but that goes back to what I was saying. Like a lot of there's a disconnect with the younger generation and the older generation. There's a lack of respect from both parties. Because I'm
Yep.
not going to say that the younger generation doesn't respect the older generation, because it's the same with the older generation. They're not respecting the younger generation. So you can't mentor someone who doesn't even respect your position.
Right.
So how what do we do? How do we gain that respect back from the younger generation to be able to take them under our wing and mentor them?
The younger generation need to stop thinking they know every damn thing, and the older generation need to do the same thing. Because when I was younger, my auntie thought she knew everything.
That's true. A lot of them do. You're right. A lot of them do, and they don't feel like they can learn anything from someone younger than
Yeah,
them.
they don't feel like they can learn nothing new because they always say, "Well, I live longer than you. I know what I'm talking about. You know what you're talking about." But what time frame did you grow up versus how I'm growing up right now? It's not
And
the
not
same.
only that, but right, but not only that, but my daddy used to always say, if you stop learning, you're dead. So you can learn from a 50-year-old just like you can learn from a 5-year-old.
Exactly. And people don't even realize this. You really, these younger kids, like a 5-year-old, 3-year-old, you're really learning. When they act out, you're really learning patience.
To deal with them.
That's what you're really learning. You're really learning patience. Like how patient are you going to be? Because they're going to act up regardless of you patient, not patient. They're going to do it whether you like it or don't like it.
And then around that age, they keep you sharp, because that's the age when they're little sponges and they got questions about, well, why? Well, what is this? And why does this? And why?
Yep.
They
And
keep you
they want to
sharp
touch everything. They want to
because you got to answer a
explore.
whole bunch of questions. You got to
There
answer
you
a
go.
whole bunch of
Mhm.
questions. So, are there any other issues that you think are affecting our community that we sweep under the rug?
I can't even think of any right now.
Hmm. Because I think one of the main issues is the communication and the lack of love for self and each other.
Hmm.
Because I know for me, as a melanated woman who doesn't look my age, like I've seen, it seems like the women that are like mid mid 30s and younger, we don't seem to, it's always an issue. Like I can't smile at you on the street without you looking at me like I slept with your man and stole your car. And the older women seem to be more like, hey, nice. But it's like these mid-age women. I don't know why we so angry with each other and the world.
The world might never know.
It's just ridiculous. Like we can't even unite and come together as a people when we can't even walk down the street and smile at
That's
each other.
because everybody's always out to outshine the next person.
So you think that because we've become so competitive against each other that it's hard to even unite and love each other?
It definitely is because everybody's in competition all the time. You know, the women are in competition to other women all the time. They're
That's why they're
always doing
doing
it.
all these
Whether if they're
BBLs and
trying
all
to
of
get
that for each other, the competition. Because most of the men that I talk to, everyone that I've interviewed so far is not into that stuff.
exactly. So yeah,
So
so women
you
are just
got to
in
be doing it
competition with
for
each
each
other.
other. You guys trying to see whose butt can be
That's
the
exactly what
biggest.
they're doing, trying to outshine the next female.
Right. They want to see whose butt could be the biggest, whose boobs could be the biggest, because men don't seem to like it. Or they say, like you say, like, yeah, it's cool to look at, but I wouldn't take her seriously. I wouldn't want to take her home to my family.
Yep,
So, as women, if you hear men saying this, why do you keep doing it?
because women don't listen.
And then want to complain about how you can't get a man.
Because you're at the club every day, every weekend, trying to hook up with this guy.
And men pay attention to that, ladies. Remember, I said, ladies, men pay attention to your energy.
That's,
Men
oh
pay
my god,
attention
just
to what you put out to the world. If on your social medias, all of it is ass shots and all thirst traps, they're paying attention to that. If
oh
you
yeah,
go
like I can tell you,
sucking
like I can tell you
ecstasy,
right now.
they're paying attention to that. And they're going to treat you accordingly.
Yep,
Clearly,
like I
you're
have
not
a
taking
like,
relationship or any of that seriously. You just want attention.
yeah, like this one female at my new job. I don't even know her. I only seen her one time at work. The next day I seen her again, and she was out of uniform, but she was just up there walking around skating and stuff like that with everybody else. I kid you not. She was flirting with me one time. Like she was flirting. We were sitting at the table. Everybody sitting at the table. Mind you, I work with all guys except for one other female, but she likes other females.
Right.
So we're all sitting at the
She's one of
table.
the
She's
guys
eating her
too.
food. She looked at every guy and was like, "Who wants to take a bite of my sandwich?" And was flirting with everybody, trying to get them to bite her sandwich. Two dudes bit her sandwich. And I just looked at them like, I looked at her like, "Yeah, no." Then
Everybody,
I saw her Sunday night. She was literally talking to, going to every dude and just flirt with them. Every dude she seen. I was just like, yeah. Me and the other girl look at each other like, yeah, I don't know why she doing it. We was just talking about the same thing we're talking about right now. We was like, that's not even attractive. Why is she doing that? Like, she might as well came to work if she's gonna be up here the whole time. She might as well came to work. Like, why are you here? We was just talking about her like, yeah, that's not attractive. Like, she's this, she's that. I bet you this, I bet you this, bet you that. We was just like, yeah. So yeah,
but see,
it's a real true
somewhere
story.
in her, she thinks that this is cute,
It's not cute. To me,
and
it's disgusting.
this is
Just
why
just like y'all don't want men talking to all the females, we don't want females talking to all the men.
I feel it because I don't want my man all up in everybody's face.
Exactly. We pay attention to that, especially right now. I'm right now. I'm kind of talking to somebody back and forth. We're in a texting phase and getting to know each other phase. But best believe I'm gonna be looking out to see who else she's communicating with, talking to. Like, okay, see who face she. I'm gonna do all that.
I
That's what
told
you're
y'all,
supposed to do.
man. I mean, I told y'all, ladies, they're paying attention to you. Men ultimately want to have a woman, want to have a wife, want to have children, want to procreate so their lineage goes on. So when they're observing you to see what category they're going to put you in. A lot of you put yourselves in the categories you end up in because of the energy you put out. He might have, when he just saw you and over the overall appearance, he might have been like, this might be okay. But then as he's been observing you over some time and sees the way you act or the energy you put out, you took yourself right out of that this could be some good stuff category into somewhere else.
Yep, and I done exactly that to a couple of females that I was
See?
just texting. Haven't even been on the first date yet, just texting.
See? And
Find some
just
stuff
from
like,
the
oh no,
conversation, he decided it ain't gonna be a first date. Some of y'all talk yourselves out of good men because your role models are the city girls and stuff.
yep. And then y'all, and then people forget that other people like how Las Vegas is a small city. It's not really big, so people that you might know gonna know other people that you don't know yet, but sooner or later you're gonna know them. Like I done met somebody I ain't know they knew this person. Like, how you know this person?
Right. Or
I'm
you
like, what the
show up
hell?
somewhere and you like, damn, why everywhere I show up, you there?
Small. It's a small. It's a big city, but it's a small city. So you also gotta be careful with what you do, because it's going to get around to everybody that you did this.
It will. And then I will say, because you are in Vegas as well, I will say a lot of the men that I talk to in Vegas, because I talk to men a lot. That's why I decided to just turn it into a podcast because I pick men's brains a lot, maybe because I was raised by one. And so, I've always been trying to understand y'all. But a lot of y'all in Vegas say that it's a problem meeting women because I don't know if because it's Vegas, but a lot of women are prostituting.
That is true. Oh my gosh, I kid you not. Mostly all my female friends, except for I could say really, except for one,
Hmm.
is either a prostitute or was a prostitute, stripper or was a stripper. I kid you not. And
Look,
every time they talk to me, look
look,
at
I
me, I'm like,
can't
oh
even
yeah, I
say
could tell
nothing
that you're
because
not
I
that type of
fall
dude.
into that category too.
But see, I can make personally me, my personality, I can make friends with anybody and not care about their background, not care about what they do. We're just friends. I don't want nothing else but friends. I just want to be friends. That's it.
Me too.
Now, whoever I decide I want to talk to, then that's that. But I'm not gonna talk to anybody who was a stripper or was a stripper or is a stripper. I don't really. That's not my cup of tea.
I can dig that. It ain't for everybody.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think I ever see myself dating a stripper or was a stripper. Like no. Like I said, fun to look at, but not take home. No. No.
Well, there you have it, ladies. You can't have no X-rated past. Not for Mr. Bean. You can't.
Other man might like it, but no, not me.
It's not for everybody. That's totally understandable. I mean, people can't be mad at people's preferences. That's where I find that people have a lot of problems. Like if someone says that they prefer something or they don't prefer something, you can't get mad at something that someone prefers for their life.
Right.
Like this is what I want in my life. How can you get mad about that?
Right.
Maybe
People
you
do
won't
really
fit
do get
into
mad. I'm
that
like, you can't
category,
get
but
mad at me.
that's what I want. Like me,
Right.
I don't feel offended that you wouldn't date an ex stripper. I got someone in the bed right now waiting for me to go get in it with them. So that don't bother me. It's just not for everybody.
Right.
I could dig that. Let me see. I think I asked you all of my questions. Yeah, I think I asked you all of my questions. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No. I'm
No.
high. I ain't gonna lie.
Do you have any social media or anything you'd like to promote?
No, I am an artist, but I'm still trying to work on my. I gotta redo my whole thing.
Like an artist, painting, drawing, or artist like music?
Oh, painting, drawing.
You're an artist for real? All this time I've been knowing you and I didn't know you was an
You ain't
artist.
you ain't never look at my paintings.
I don't even go on nobody's profile.
You want to follow my IG, man?
I don't even do I follow you on IG?
It's very easy. It's being daddy underscore art.
Okay. I'm gonna check it out because I actually need an artist. I
You ain't
want to
never
work.
seen none of my paintings for it.
No, I
You ain't.
haven't. I feel so
I feel some type of way now. Oh
I
my
feel
gosh,
some
I
type of
feel
way
some type of way
too.
now.
Oh my
As
goodness.
long as you've been on Bigo, you ain't never looked at my profile and be like, "Oh yeah, it's a sunflower right here. Who did this?"
I
It's
don't
a
look at
big
people's
ass
posts.
sunflower.
I
Four
talk to people
different
all
paintings of
day and I don't
that
even
turns
look
to
at
a
the profile.
sunflower on my. That's my cover page, my cover photo. You ain't
Now
never looked at it.
now when we get off of here, I'm gonna have to go look at it.
We are fighting.
I feel ashamed right now
Fighting as long
because
as you
we're
know
we're
me.
really cool outside of this, and
As
I
long as
feel
you know me, you gonna tell me you ain't never looked at my profile on Bigo.
yeah,
What?
no, I mm, I haven't, but I'm glad to know that though.
That
But
is funny.
so you're not doing art for people or anything. That's what you're saying. You're working on now. Like, what are you
Yeah,
working
I
on?
got and I got to do you some art so you can be like, oh yeah, he's serious.
Right. I'm like, well, what are you working on? Like, you're not working for the public. Like, what? You know,
No,
you don't.
I just do
No,
everything. I'm
it's just
trying to
like
get my.
a
I
review.
sold a few stuff. And I'm painting a few pictures for people. Sold a few paintings. Really, just trying to get out there. I
So
need
you
to.
don't want
I
to
need to
promote
take a weekend off. And somebody told me about. And if, one of my maintenance men told me to have all types of art events on the art district downtown on the weekends. But of course, I work on the weekends
right.
from 6 to 2, and then from 6 to 10 in the morning,
Mm.
or at 10 at night.
Well, y'all did hear the IG, so It's out there. So if y'all want to go check out his art, go check it out. And y'all heard he's single. So, if you want to reach out to him, that's where you can find him.
Oh God.
Don't be no ex stripper or nothing, no, because he ain't gonna answer. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Is there anything else
No,
you'd like
please
to
no.
add
No
before we go
ex
ahead
strippers,
and
no
wrap?
OnlyFans.
No OnlyFans, no sordid past, ladies.
No.
You just be on the up and up. Your Carfax needs to be clean.
I'm dead.
I'm just, I'm just
You
saying.
get on my nerves.
Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
Nah.
Okay,
That's it.
well,
That's everything.
I count with you. Thank you so
You're
much
so
for
goofy.
joining me. I really appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time and your presence. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Like I always say, remember the first step to change is realizing that a change is necessary. I challenge you to do a little self reflection and figure out if it's time to change. Thank you for joining me live on Glacier FM. You can find me on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. Thank you for joining us again. Please come back and join us for the next interview. You guys have a great evening.